TGI Group is working on sustainable communities with solar power, also water treatment, organic food production as well. And with me is the Chief Operating Officer, Sam Epstein, to talk more about where TGI is right now. So Sam, welcome. And if you could give us an update, kind of an overall view of where TGI is right now.
Okay, so TGI Solar or TGI Power we are in phase 2. Phase 2 is the actual construction of homes, residential homes, 700 residential homes, and 120 garden apartments in the jungles of the Yucatan, which is located 35 minutes from Mérida, the capital of the Yucatan, one of the highest areas of growth in the last 5 years in the world. It's growing at a rate of 7% a year because of its beautiful location. It's international airport. The jungle location is 35 minutes from there. There is a new railroad system being developed in the Yucatan, which will be completed next year, and that will integrate the entire Yucatan. So one could be in Mérida or in our location and be on a subway, or actually not a subway, a train, an overland train to Cancun without having to drive there. Cancun is 2.5 hours away. So you have Tulum and you have Cancun, which are hot areas in terms of attractions, both diving and other things, because it's on the Caribbean. And you have the Gulf of Mexico side, which is where we are, which is, again, diving and beautiful fishing. So 35 minutes to the south of us, you have the great ruins of the Mayan community, the Mayan temples. So that is a world archeological sites for those who like archaeology. And you have the attractions of Mérida and Cancun. So it's a very good location. Similar to that in Mérida, there was a development that just sold out, their 5th development, and the homes there went for on the average of $1.1 million, 30% than what they originally anticipated. And the interesting thing is that these homes were bought out by primarily Mexicans from Mexico City looking for a second home. So in a manner of speaking, the indigenous people of Mexico understand the beauty of the area, and they offer a demand for these properties. Okay,
interesting. So help our viewers understand. So this is a community where somebody can purchase a home. Is this their main home? Is this a retirement home? Is it both? Is it open to Americans? Like, explain how that all works.
Sure. It's open to Americans. There are a lot of expatriates that are moving there. Some of my friends from Park Slope actually mentioned Mérida as a serious primary retirement location because of its affordability, accessibility to the United States, only an hour and a half away from Miami and Houston, and 3.5 hours from LA and New York. And they would like to live there. It's beautiful. But it could be a primary or it could be a secondary. Our pricing of our homes, which could go up, by the way, were our 700 homes are priced at $400,000, which in today's world, people can use that as a second home or a primary home.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then you're also looking at uplisting. Where does that stand?
Okay, so now we have a recognized accounting group that is doing our auditing, and we are approximately 60 days away from uplisting, and that will then enable us to raise more capital and continue, because we do have actually more opportunities that have come up in addition to this. The interesting thing is the people in Mexico who work for us, and we have now 50 employees, probably go to 100. We have a very good reputation there. We have an excellent manager, regional manager in Mexico, who has a significant experience running companies, and other opportunities are coming up. For instance, we have approximately several hundred acres on the beachfront which is high upside potential on that, and another 800 hectares or 1,600 acres adjacent to us. So the opportunities we are being brought to us because we are successful and we have a good reputation could easily be triple or even greater than what's even shown here, which is significant the way it is.
Wow, that is really interesting that there's more opportunities for people to purchase a piece of property there. And then also, I'm talking about the revenue potential. But based on what you have now, where do you see the growth?
Okay, the revenue potential. You have 700 homes, $400,000 a home, okay? 120 garden apartments, $250 a garden apartment. That's about $310 million in gross revenue. Our profit, we believe, will be 40%. So the company could earn $100 million in the next 24 months based on a correct execution of our development, on that alone. And then we have the potential of those other properties, which could be almost a clone, if not the beachfront property. I can't even quantify because that's really, you wind up coming in with a major hotel or developer that loves the area, and that's a separate model.
Okay. And then also just kind of wrap up a little bit in terms of the upside of this. And I know you talked a little bit about potential other properties that may be coming on board. I know that's kind of nebulous right now, but what could somebody expect with potential upside with TGI?
Upside in terms of valuations?
Evaluations, yeah, and return on investment?
Well, the return on investment could be significant because right now we're market cap at 17 million. And if we, and I say if until it's done, I'm an old time developer. Until I'm executed, I'm superstitious not to say, but we could have significant multiples of that. Mm-hmm. And remember, we have no debt and we own the properties.
Yeah. So that's key. And yes, I agree. Until something's signed on the dotted line, you can't really factor it into it. Well, just finally, one more pitch for people that may be getting near to retirement age or looking for another property. I mean, what is appealing about this? I mean, the weather is great. There's opportunity for investment in another country. What are some other selling features of this?
Well, if you like the outdoors, if you like archeological sites, if you like the country club life, with 35 minutes from the major country club in Merida. So you can have the everything. You can have the intellectual aspects of the archaeology. You could have the diving in the cenotes, and the cenotes are unique to the area of the world. The cenotes were formed during the asteroid impact of the Cretaceous Tertiary, that great impact in Mexico. And these cenotes are caves that are an underwater cave network, which people come from all over the world to dive in and swim in. So people love that natural settings. The natural settings are amazing. And yet you can still have the access and the nightlife and the excitement of diving in Cancun, eating out and enjoying the nightlife of Cancun, as well as your jungle habitat. So I think that this would be very attractive to the people who would consider retirement, who are active.
Yeah.
And younger people that like the activity. We're seeing a lot of younger people that like to get away. And with the advent of the Zoom meetings and other changes in our hybrid lifestyle, this is actually taking off in terms of, in general, the area of the Yucatan.
Well, I think it's educational and leisurely, and it sounds really interesting. So thank you so much, Sam, for joining us. And I look forward to updates as you move forward with the company.
Thank you very much.